Recently, I found strange items that were not mine. I suspected my wife was having an affair with someone else. When I asked her about it, she insisted that she didn't know where they came from. Throw away, of course. About 6 months ago, I noticed an undershirt folded up in my dresser drawer. The weird thing was that the label wasn't from any of the brands that I have, and there was only one of that kind. I tried it on, and it clearly didn't fit me. I assumed that it was an old shirt of mine that somehow got brought out of storage and tossed it. 2 months later, I find a pair of men's jeans, clearly not my size, folded on the top of the dresser. This was after I was at a conference for a few days. The conference was in my town, but I was gone from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. pretty much every day. I asked my wife about it and family who had visited recently. Nobody had any idea where they came from. I started to suspect something was up, but decided that it was in the best interest of my relationship to just ask once and then trust my wife's response. I tossed the jeans and moved on. This morning, I found a men's polo shirt hanging in my closet. It's not my size, and it has brand from a store that I don't shop at and haven't even stepped foot into for nearly a decade. This, only days after I returned from an out-of-town work trip. I confronted my wife demanding answers. She claims that she knows nothing. I started by asking her why she thinks I'm upset. She jumped straight to, "You think I'm cheating." I asked her to put herself in my shoes and try to explain how else I could interpret this pattern, me being gone, men's clothing showing up in my house. She never answered the question. We went back and forth, never screaming or throwing things, for about an hour, with the shirt lying on the table between us. I kept saying that "I don't know" is not an acceptable answer. She ended with, "Or what?" I said that I needed answers one more time and got straight up from the table and left to go back to work. Historically, I do trust her, but I can see how easily lies come out of her mouth when speaking to her family over seemingly small things. She grew up in an overbearing household and she knows how to cover her tracks. During the conversation, I asked if I could go through her cell phone, something I have never done before or even tried to do. Of course, nothing of note. Something is happening. The pattern is clear to me. Am I overreacting? How should I proceed? Edit. Thanks for the insight, folks. I've been internalizing all of this and trying to remain objective. It's easy to jump to a conclusion about cheating, and yes, the evidence does seem damning. There is some advice in the comments about next steps, and many with differing perspectives on what else could have happened. This has certainly helped me step back and assess the situation more clearly. We had a multiple hour-long conversation. She called my in-laws about the clothing. I called my folks with the same questions. I was given her phone to go through again. I even did some digging with the ISP to get connected devices and websites, texts from cell, etc. No answers anywhere. At the end of the day, I chose to not blow up my entire life, walk out lawyer, take the kids and run, and instead chose to proceed with caution. If she is cheating, she knows she is going to be heavily scrutinized and will eventually be caught with actual evidence. If not, I avoided destroying my family over nothing. Lots of you will disagree with me, I'm sure, but this is my life, and there are nuances at play here that haven't been and won't be shared. Relevant comments. Commenter, time to skip one of your work conferences, find a spot a couple miles away, then come home about an hour into what would be your conference. Commenter, there's a dichotomy here. You say she's very capable of covering her tracks, but also you keep finding some other dude's clothes in your house. The obvious answer is she's cheating, but is there a chance she's fucking with you, gaslighting you into a divorce? What does she stand to gain? OP, I don't know. Financially, it's a bit equal, although she stopped working recently to take care of our child full time. I agree that it's sloppy to leave clothing around. It adds up to a full set, so maybe John Doe came in with a bag and left a set on accident. Commenter, I know everyone keeps saying she's definitely cheating, but women aren't stupid. You honestly think a man is leaving his entire wardrobe and neither he or she notices? Him leaving without jeans, her folding up clothes she knows aren't yours. You have no children or family members that this would apply to. Story 2. AIO in a relationship, 12 months. Is it okay to be mad that my GF made out with her gay colleague? I was invited to my girlfriend's work party. At this work party, we're all drinking and all fairly drunk. They start daring each other to do things. I don't take part. All her work friends dare her gay male colleague and my GF to make out. I oppose and say there's no way. They egg each other on, and then they kiss for maybe 5 seconds. They all laugh and joke, and I sit in silence. I give her $50 for a taxi home and then I leave. Later that night, she comes home vomiting in the toilet, and I'm there holding her hair back, making sure she's okay. She then cries when I confronted her later on. She tried to get out of it and told me that it was just a bit of fun. Obviously, I was mad at that statement, and that's where we left it. Edit. For context, I'm 25 and she's 24. I work as a commercial banker. She works as a barista at one of our local cafes. It's all her cafe friends further to this. She lives with me in my apartment, and I pay the full mortgage every month. I've since asked her to leave so I can have a break, but she says she has nowhere to go. So now I'm in a difficult spot. With my work group, we can have the most interesting conversations. When we do socialize after work, we all respect each other. We're mature and talk about life and have mentally stimulating conversations. She enjoys going clubbing and getting drunk. I enjoy a nice dinner with a few drinks. I hate clubbing and never go. Relevant comments. Commenter, not overreacting, underreacting. End it. Block. Commenter, look, her colleagues disrespected you by daring her to make out with a colleague in front of you. She disrespected you by doing it after you clearly told her you didn't want her to, and it was not okay. He disrespected you by doing it anyway, despite your disapproval. They're all disrespectful assholes. I'd move on. OP. I question this too, but I'm like 99% sure he's into sticks. Either way, I agree. Not good enough, as I wouldn't even consider it. If someone told me they'd pay me $500, I would still say no. Loyalty is important to me. Commenter. The guy isn't completely gay. He enjoys making out with your girlfriend. Plus, you said no, and she did it anyway. They both disrespected you. Kick her to the curb. Commenter. Why was she the one dared? No single people there. OP. They were going around the table, daring each other to do shots, bite ears, and all this stupid shit. Honestly, I was so turned off that I didn't even want to be there. Then, she got dared to do that, and it happened in front of my eyes. Like a man, I just want a sophisticated woman. My friendship group and my colleagues don't do stupid dares like this. Story 3, I told my sister's fiancé that she's cheating on him with multiple men. I feel like such a shit sister, but no family of mine can get away with cheating on their partner. I hadn't seen my sister in years. Last time I saw her, her fiancé, then boyfriend, took me out for lunch to get to know me as they just started dating. I thought he was the sweetest guy ever, as he brought me shopping and bought me pancakes. I was 14 and very, very happy. They were happy, and I was fine with their relationship until her old fling commented on her Instagram post saying he missed her, and she liked the comment. I passed it off as an accident because my sister seemed so in love with her boyfriend. He asked me for help to propose, and I gave all the ideas. It went perfectly to my knowledge, and she said yes. She moved in with him, which was in a different country, so I hadn't seen her at all. Then, she came home for the autumn break to see my family. I'd expect she'd bring her fiancé, but no, it was another guy. She claimed he was a work buddy who came to the country for work purposes, and she just wanted to house him while he stayed. I started to get suspicious of this, because he was awfully touchy with her, and every time I was around both of them, he seemed to be endlessly shirtless. The moment I knew was when she thought we had all gone out. It was my dad's birthday, and my brother wanted to bring him to a pub, but I didn't go because I'm underage. I heard her whispering outside my room is next to the spare room, that she would break it off with her fiancé soon. Her cue passionate making out that I heard. I was honestly devastated because I really liked her fiancé. He was the nicest person, and treated her well despite everything. After like 2 hours of this, her work buddy left for a bit, and I knew I wanted to tell her fiancé, so I did. I didn't have his phone number because he recently changed his phone and got a new number, so I took my sister's phone to try find it, and to my surprise her wallpaper was a completely different man from the other two. It wasn't like an actor or a model or anything. It was just a regular dude that was posing cutely with a woman's arm around his stomach, which I instantly recognized as hers. I knew my sister was this kind of person in high school, not after getting engaged. I opened my sister's phone. She made the password something I knew for some reason, and when I went to her contacts to find her fiancé, I saw like 6 different numbers with hearts and kissy faces. I copied the one with a ring, which I hoped to be her fiancé, and told him everything. He broke of the engagement and took back everything he bought her. He thanked me, but never came in contact with me again. I feel like a shit person and a shit sister, but I would never, ever let cheating slide like that. A lot of tears were shed, but I'm thankful her fiancé never ratted me out. The work buddy she brought home found out about her other flings and immediately left. My dad is thinking about disowning her because he also despises cheaters. He knows he didn't raise a daughter like that, because after my biological mother cheated on him, he made sure to do his best. I'm ashamed to call her my sister, and I know for a fact that no matter what anyone tells me, I did the right thing. Relevant comments. Commenter, you absolutely did the right thing. The fiancé was nothing but nice to you. You were right to tell him and protect him from your sister. You have nothing to feel bad about. Also, you have a right to cut all contact with her and your dad to disown her. Someone has to hold her accountable for her actions. If she doesn't face any consequences, she will just keep hurting people and will probably never change. Keep true to your morals and don't hold close to manipulate, cheating and lying people. They can also stab you in the back as well. It's what they do. Story 4, AIO for telling my mom that we won't be coming to Thanksgiving if she plans on drinking before dinner. My mom and dad were married for 38 years before he died from cancer. During that time, which equated to my entire life at that time, every family event and holiday was marred by my mom over-consuming alcohol. Now, mind you, both of my parents were always drinkers. However, my dad always knew his limit and quit while he was ahead most of the time. My mom, on the other hand, drinks to the point of being completely inebriated basically every time she drinks. In the 3 years leading up to my dad's cancer diagnosis and death 4 months later, she nagged him because he retired and would sit around drinking and smoking pot all day, which was a huge exaggeration. She would berate him and fight with him, threatening to leave him at times if he didn't stop drinking so much. Now, in the 2 years since his passing, she has been drinking heavy nearly every single day. She has gotten nasty with myself, my husband, and our kids on multiple occasions and holidays. Hard enough to get through now that my dad is gone, have become unbearable, like watching a slow-motion train wreck. It has gotten to a point that my family doesn't want to even be around her, which is difficult since we live next door to her. We try to avoid talking to her when we know she is drunk, which is basically every evening. The other night she invited us to BBQ, and it was a complete disaster that made all of us both concerned and uncomfortable. So last night she texted me planning Thanksgiving. Are you guys coming? The text came in after 7 p.m., and so I waited till morning to respond. I simply said, well, yeah, but how about no alcohol till after dinner is served? I knew this would be seen as shots fired, but it just had to be said. Her response was the same one anytime I say anything she doesn't like. Am I the asshole? Relevant comments. Commenter, why in the world did you buy a home next to this woman? OP, it was given to me by my dad years ago to keep me close by. I was always there anytime they needed me at the drop of a hat. Now that he is gone, I want out, but it is not a good time to try to sell. Commenter, NTA, have you all sat her down as a family, any siblings, and told her that you're concerned she might be an alcoholic, or that maybe she needs to see a grief counselor? OP, I have considered it, but my sister, who lives 65 miles away, does not see the same things I do, and since she was always Mom's favorite and I was always my dad's, I do not have the support of the one person left in our family that she might listen to. My mother has never had a high opinion of me, for reasons I can't fathom, and anything I say is always greeted the same, scoffing, and usually being called an asshole or a bitch. Story 5. Am I wrong for expecting my girlfriend to choose different food for us? My girlfriend and I had a nice movie night planned at the weekend. She said she saw a fun idea of how we could choose what to eat and drink. She said we could do rock, paper, scissors for a starter, main, dessert, snacks, and drinks. Whoever wins chooses that course. The idea is to go around the supermarket separately and meet up at the end to how the other person what you've chosen. I thought it sounded fun, so I agreed. I won dessert, snacks, and drinks, and my girlfriend won starter and main. I choose 2 different drinks as we like to drink different things, so I got wine for my GF and some cans of beer for me, then got a couple of snacks for us to share, and a dessert we both like. When we met up, she showed me what she had gotten. For the main, she chose food she knows I don't like. I asked if she would mind changing it or getting something that I could eat instead, but she refused and said the whole point of the game was that the winner chose and that she chose something she really wants to eat. I pointed out it's not really fair to choose food, the other person doesn't like, but she just said I shouldn't be starting an argument and ruining the night. But I pointed out it's her ruining the night by going out of her way to choose food she knows I don't like. AIW for expecting her to choose something else. Relevant comments. Commenter, while your girlfriend was technically right in what she chose, she definitely violated the spirit of what y'all were doing. But on the other hand, she just showed you that she is petty and extremely selfish. Give it enough time and people always show you who they are. Commenter, I have a theory that selfish people cannot possibly be good lovers. OP showed he was thoughtful and considerate. She showed she is the enjoyment police with her strict game rule policy. I can't imagine she is a good lover of this is her attitude. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest ones. Have a great day.